Hey guys, it's Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com. Today is Tuesday, June 28th, and we're going to take a look at some player props, specifically on Prize Picks. Some games that I do like today. We're going to take a look at some that I posted on the screenshot, and then we're going to add about 4 more, and we're going to take a look at them and see. So the two things I have open are the MLB cheat sheet that's posted daily for premium members and free on Thursdays in our free group for everybody to play with, try out. And then I always recommend having somewhere to look at game logs. So for now, I have Cruncher pulled up. You'll see in my videos that I either use Cruncher, RotoWire, MLB.com. You can use anything that's going to show you a player's game logs. So we just got done recording the MLB betting video for the bets that we like for today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at some player props. So on the screenshot, I put my 4 favorite props on there, and we're going to run down, take a look at those, and then I'm going to add 4 more on top of it. So the first one is going to be a no-run first inning bet, and that is going to be between Atlanta and Philadelphia. Now, what I like about this, I mean, the odds are there's not going to be a run in the first inning because there's 9 innings in a game, and the total is 7.5 favored towards the under, so it's likely there will not be a run. Here we have 2 stud pitchers. We have Wheeler and Morton. Both of them doing really well, so that's one that I think there's a good shot at the under hitting there. So let's take a look at their game logs real quick. So you can see Zach Wheeler over his last 2-1-0, 2-1-2-0. So he's really not allowing that many runs at all, and that's over 5 to 6 innings, let alone in the first inning. There's a high likelihood that he is not going to let a run cross. Also, Bryce Harper is out of the lineup since he broke, I think it was his finger. So he'll be out of the lineup, so that kind of depletes them. So Charlie Morton, you can see he's had 3 fantastic starts here. Allowed 2 and 0 earned runs in his last 2. So he has 14 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs with 20 strikeouts in his last 2 starts. Prior to that, he was giving up about 0.7 runs per inning, so he would be the one I'd worry about. But with Harper out of the lineup, I am less worried about that. So Philadelphia and Atlanta, no run first inning, or if you're on Prize Picks, it's under 0.5 runs in the first inning. So we're going to take a shot at that. Now, one of the other ones, and it's against one of the bets that I like, is going to be Jonathan Heasley. So we are going to take a look at his strikeout prop on Prize Picks. So I didn't pull the Prize Picks side up, but I got the lines wrote down. So his strikeout prop is 3.5. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, when you look at this, he has, so we're looking over here at his strikeouts in this column. He's got 6, 4, 7, 5, 3, and 5 in his last 6 starts. So he's been over this in 5 of the last 6. And the one that he wasn't over it, he only missed it by a half. So that's really good. And then when we go over here and we take a look at this Texas projected lineup. So when I'm looking at props, I'm looking at the strikeout rates. Now, of course, Semien and Seager are good, but typically about 21-22% is average. If you get 20% and below, that's really good. So Semien at 18 and 19, that's really good. They don't strike out that much. But when you get around 23 and up, that's when I really take notice. But look at this. Garcia's at 25%, Calhoun 27%, Garver 30%, Lowe 26%. And I think in my screenshot I had posted there were 5 guys over 25%, but actually now that I look at it, there's 6. We have these 4 and then these 2 at 26, and then whoever this guy is, if he's in, 33%. So there's a lot of strikeout upside for Heasley. And it's only 3.5. I mean, we only need 4 Ks. We're not saying he's going to do a Zach Wheeler and drop 7 on you, but I like him to go over 3 strikeouts. Dakota Hudson jumped out at me. So taking a look at Dakota Hudson, I like under 3.5 strikeouts for him. And the reason I like that is the last 3 starts, he's really been lit up. And Cincinnati and Milwaukee are not great teams. Boston is. But he's only had 2, 3, 2, 6, 3, 3, 2, 2, 0. So he's been under this 8 of the last 9 games. He did go over it against Tampa. I don't know what happened there, but occasionally a pitcher will go nuts. But he's consistently 2 to 3 strikeouts. He's not a big strikeout guy. And then when we take a look at this game, so this is going to be Miami, St. Louis, I believe. Let me go ahead and pull it up here, and I'll show it you on the cheat sheet. So Miami and St. Louis. So looking at Dakota Hudson, look at his K9 rate. So it's only 4.9, and his strikeout rate versus left-handed hitters is 12% and 14% versus right-handed hitters. And that's through 75 innings, 38 and 36. So that's a pretty good indicator that he's not going to strike out a ton. Now, looking at the lineup, there's a lot of guys that are 20 to 25, got a couple higher than that. So it is a little worrisome, but with 8 of the 9 he's been under, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at him staying under that 3.5. Hopefully Miami can put up a couple runs, get to him early, get his pitch count up, and get him out of the game. That would be ideal for us. And the other one I'm going to look at that I like is Zach Wheeler. So Zach Wheeler and Morton are both solid plays. So Wheeler right now is at 7 strikeouts, and you can see on each side of the plate he has a 27% strikeout rate versus lefties, a 30% strikeout rate versus righties, and a K9 rate of 10.4, pretty much almost evenly split across the board. And then when you come up here and you look at this lineup, look at the first 3 guys, 26, 29, and 27%. And then you get down here, you've got Duvall, who's got a batting 198 with a 34% strikeout rate. And then all these other guys are still 22, 22, 23, 22. The lowest guy is 19. I mean, he's got a good opportunity to hit his 7 here. So when we come over here, we're going to look at the pitch log for Wheeler. And so we're going to pull up Wheeler. So his strikeout prop is 7. So I like 7 because it gives us a push. So looking down here, so this will give us a win, loss, win, win, push, win, win, push, push, push. So out of these last, 10 starts, that gives us 5 wins, only 1 loss, and 4 pushes. And then we get a lineup that's got a lot of strikeouts in it. That's good. Now, Atlanta's good, but they are prone to strikeout. You can see here they have the 8th highest strikeout rate over the last 2 weeks. And even on the season, they're 25.4% versus right-handed pitchers, 24% on the road. They're in that 24-25%, so they are prone to a lot of strikeouts. So I like Zach Wheeler to go over these 7 strikeouts. So if you saw the screenshot that I'd posted on Twitter, these are the first 4 plays that I like. I got Wheeler and Morton, no run first inning. Heasley over 3.5. Hudson under 3.5. Wheeler over 7. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some bonus picks that we like. While we got it up, Charlie Morton. He's another one that I like to go over 6.5 strikeouts. Now when you take a look, Philadelphia does not strike out a lot. They're only at 18%. But Harper's not going to be in the lineup, so that's going to change. But look at this. You got Schwarber at 28%, Hoskins at 27%, Castellanos at 25%, and then we got some low 20s in here. And then you got Charlie Morton, who has a K9 rate of 10.4. And look at his versus left-handed hitters, 29%. And look, there's a potential 4 lefties in there for him, so that's juicy to take a look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at his game logs and see kind of, is he in that range? Is that someone that we can take a look at? So his strikeout prop is 6.5. And he's got, this looks good, 11, 9, 12, and 8. So he's got a 4-0 overrun. And what I like about that is we need 7 for the win, and he's crushing it. So he covered that by 4, covered that by 2, covered that by 5, covered that by 1. So he's doing really well. I mean, these teams aren't that great, but he has some upside there to go after it. Now, he did face this Philadelphia team back end of May and only had 4 strikeouts, so take that with a grain of salt. But I do like Morton as a bonus play to go over 6.5 strikeouts. And then one of the other ones that I'm going to look at is going to be Walka. So Walka was interesting to me going up against Toronto. Toronto's kind of, you can see their strikeout rates here, kind of middle of the road. And his strikeout rates are 21 and then 16 for right. So it didn't make my initial cut here, basically because look at how many right-handed hitters are in this Toronto lineup, and his K9 rate drops down to 16%. But his number was really low when I was looking at it on Prize Picks this morning. So when we're looking at Michael Walka, we've got, so his number, where's it at, was only 3.5 strikeouts. So I was shocked. If it was 4.5, I'd probably stay away, but 3.5. He's got 7 against Detroit. Then he had 5 against St. Louis, only 3 there, and then 6 against LA, 3 against Cincinnati. And then in here, you know, he had 2 to 3, but over his last 4 starts, he's got an over, missed by a half, and an over. So 3-1 for the over, and a decent matchup. So that's one I think we can take a look at. And then he did face this same Toronto team back here on the 27th, and he had 5 strikeouts, so he covered that by 1.5. So that gives me a little bit of hope that he can get over 3.5. I like these smaller numbers because if they get lucky and pick up 2 Ks in the first inning, then you're pretty much cruising to a free roll at that point. And then the other one is going to be, or the next one is going to be Jonathan Gray. So we're going to go down, we're going to take a look at him. Kansas City has a 23% strikeout rate over the last 2 weeks. You can see here Witt, Benintendi don't, but when you get down into Witt, Melendez, and Dozier, we're getting 23, 26, 24, and then Riviera, if he's in the lineup, 28%. So we do have some guys with some potential, and he's got an even 25%, 26% on the left or right side of the plate, so that's decent. 9.5 K9. The reason this didn't make my initial top 4 list is because on the road, he has a much lower split. So he has a 12.3 K9 rate at home, but only 8.4 on the road, so that dropped it a little bit for me, down into what I would consider a tier 2 play. Now, when we go look at the Jonathan Gray game logs, now the number we're looking for is 5. So he's got 5, 6, 10, 3, 12, 5, 4, 8. So out of this number, over the last 5, he's got 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 push. So the 1 loss was at Cleveland. So on the road, he didn't get a lot there, but I can't ignore this 10 and 12 here, and even 10 against the White Sox. Anytime you get a pitcher that can double the strikeout prop number, that gives me a lot of room for error. And then even 6, and then 5 here against Philadelphia. I mean, that's at least a push. So really, you're looking at 4 or less is what hurts you. So I like Jonathan Gray to go over 5 strikeouts. I think that one is solid. And then one of the other ones I have is Robbie Ray. So taking a look at Robbie Ray. So Baltimore has been red hot. They were one of our underdog picks for the day. And then when we're looking at strikeout rate, they have the second highest at 25.5%, so that's why it did not make the top play. But we're looking at, well, he didn't have him in there as a named pitcher yet. So you're taking a look. Baltimore has been really hot. The top 5 hitters are good. The bottom 4 are worrisome, so that's one you got to be careful with. But Robbie Ray's number was 6.5, and I was kind of shocked. So he's got 6, 10, 4, 3, 6. So he's been under this. That half is key, so he's been under this in 4 of the last 5. Now, he does have the ability to go way over. We saw 10, 8, 9, and 10. I would lean to the under here because Baltimore's been really hot. And you can see here they've won 5 of the last 6 games. They've been doing really well. So there's a potential that they could get to him early and get his pitch count up. Robbie Ray is prone to a lot of walks, so that's another one that I did like. And there's another stat that I like, and they didn't have it up on Price Picks yet this morning, but the earned runs, it's usually over or under 2.5 for pitchers. I find a lot of good values in those. Like if you find a pitcher that is only giving up 0, 1, or 2 earned runs in the majority of the starts, that's pretty good. Also, you can go up against teams that are hot, teams that are weak. I'll post some of those if I get them. But anyways, that's what I got for today. We've got Atlanta, Philadelphia, no run first inning. Heasley over 3.5 strikeouts. Dakota Hudson under 3.5. Zach Wheeler over 7. Charlie Morton over 6.5. Walka over 3.5. Gray over 5. And Robbie Ray under 6.5. Good luck, guys.